Welcome back to part 2 of our video series on the selective school exams. In this section, we will delve into the exam format, the timeline, and introduce you to all the different sections you can expect. So let's jump right in. In case you have not watched the first part video, feel free to head on to our first video, which gives you a brief overview of the Victorian Selective Entry High School, as well as the entry exams. The Selective High School exam is a comprehensive assessment designed to evaluate students' abilities and aptitudes for advanced learning. And it consists of multiple sections, each targeting specific skills and knowledge areas. So let's start off with the basic format. Now let's have a look at the exam format. Before we begin with the tips and strategies, it is crucial to first understand the test format. Selective schools tests consist of 5 sections of multiple choice and written tasks in English, mathematics, and general abilities. Each section assesses different skills and abilities, so it is important to familiarize yourselves with the test structure to better prepare. In the 2023 Selective Entry High School entrance exam, there are 2 main parts. The first is ability tests. The second are the achievement tests. For the ability tests, it includes verbal reasoning and numerical reasoning. The tests administered aim to assess your child's problem-solving abilities without relying on prior knowledge. The results of these tests can provide valuable insights into your child's learning potential and their capacity to handle complex tasks. The exam consists of 2 main components, verbal reasoning and numerical reasoning, or quantitative reasoning. The verbal reasoning tests evaluates your child's ability to analyze and comprehend written information, while the numerical reasoning test focuses on their aptitude for solving mathematical problems. These tests provide a comprehensive evaluation of a child's cognitive abilities and their potential for future academic success. As for the achievement tests, these measure actual achievement or performance in key academic areas. Achievement scores are influenced by a student's ability and the application as well as practice of knowledge that has been acquired. The 3 achievement tests are reading comprehension, mathematics, and written expression. The exam takes approximately 3 hours to complete and comprises of series of tests, including multiple choice and written tasks. So reasoning and reading, 35 minutes. Reasoning mathematics, 30 minutes. There will be short breaks in between. General ability verbal, 30 minutes. General ability quantitative, 30 minutes. And writing, 40 minutes. Prior to commencing each test, the administrator will go through practice examples with the candidates to ensure they have an understanding of what to expect. In terms of the timeline, applications to sit for the entrance examination to commence for Year 9 in 2024 was open on the 2nd of March 2023. The entrance examination will be held on the 15th of July 2023. To be eligible to apply for and attend a selective entry high school, students must be in their 2nd year of secondary schooling or its equivalent, usually Year 8, and they have not previously sat for the examination for Year 9 entry. And a couple of key points are they should be an Australian citizen or a New Zealand citizen residing in Australia, or holders of a visa or EMI card, which would exempt them from paying international students' fee to attend a Victorian government schools, or be able to meet the above criteria by the time the offers process commences. An application fee of 160 Australian dollars is payable at the time of application, and payment is made online. So the question around when will offers be made? So places in the selective entry high schools are offered in rounds or phases. The first round of offers is distributed in early August each year. In 2023, the first round of offers will be sent via email, and the date are to be advised. Applicants who receive the first round of offer will have until a particular date to be advised to accept or decline this offer. So instruction on how to accept or decline the offer will be included in that email that you will be receiving. A couple of more important points here. Exam day checklist. Please take these items to the exams. Proof of identity, which is required. The admission ticket, and this is also required. 2 blue or black pens, required. An optional bottle of water, snacks for the break. I will leave links and resources in the description below for those who want to learn more about the latest updates. The General Ability Verbal Exam consists of a range of questions designed to assess students' verbal reasoning and comprehension skills. These questions may involve various formats and tasks, including analogies. Students are given pairs of words and are required to identify the relationships between them. They must then choose another pair of words that has a similar relationship. Example, apple is to fruit as carrot is to vegetable, seed, flower, or stem. Second, sentence completion. Students are presented with incomplete sentences and must select the most appropriate word or phrase to complete the sentence in a meaningful way. For example, the dog chased its blank tail. A, long, B, own, C, wagging, D, happy. Third, vocabulary. Students are tested on their understanding of word meanings, synonyms, antonyms, and context. For example, choose the word that is most similar in meaning to brave. A, cowardly. B, timid. C, courageous. D, fearful. 4. Reading comprehension. Students read passages and answer questions based on their understanding of the text, including main idea, inference, and detail-oriented questions. For example, according to the passage, what is the main purpose of recycling? A, to conserve energy. B, to reduce pollution. C, to save money. D, to create jobs. These are a few examples of the type of questions you may encounter in the ACER General Ability Verbal Exam. It is also important to note that the actual exam may feature a variety of question styles and difficulty levels to assess students' verbal reasoning abilities much more effectively. And a couple of ways you could start improving and preparing. For instance, improve on your vocabulary, learn spelling, learn to identify word patterns, phonological awareness, decoding and sight recognition, and very importantly, don't let contradicting statements or statements with fantasy words confuse you. In our later videos, we will look into specific strategies and activities which can help you better prepare for each of these segments in detail. General ability quantitative. These questions typically involve numerical operations, problem solving, and mathematical concepts. While the exact questions may vary from year to year, Here are some examples of the types of questions that may be included. Typically, they utilize mathematics and numbers to solve problems. Likely not the standard types of math questions. They may use conversions between units of measure in problem sums, shapes, symmetry, 3D shapes, conversions between time like minutes, seconds, weeks, years. So some of the examples. Number 1, numerical operations type questions. These questions assesses a student's ability to perform basic arithmetic operations such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. They may involve calculations with whole numbers, fractions, decimals, or percentages. For example, what is the result of 3.5 multiplied by 2.2? Number 2, number patterns and sequences. These sort of questions require students to identify and continue number patterns or sequences. They may involve arithmetic, geometric, or other types of patterns. For example, what is the next number in this sequence? 2, 5, 8, 11, blank. The third type of questions are problem solving. These questions present real-world scenarios or mathematical problems that require students to apply their quantitative reasoning skills to find a solution. For example, a store is having a 20% off sale. If an item originally costs $50, how much will it cost after the discount? The fourth type of questions are data interpretation. These questions involve reading and the interpretation of data presented in tables, charts, or graphs, and using that information to answer related questions. For example, the bar graph shows the number of books read by different students in a month. How many more books did Sarah read than Alex? These examples provide a glimpse into the types of questions that may be included in the ACER General Ability quantitative exam. It is therefore important to note that the actual exam may feature a combination of these question types and may vary in difficulty and format. So, as always, students are encouraged to prepare by practicing similar type of questions and really familiarizing themselves with concepts and strategy involved in quantitative reasoning. There are many ways that you can prepare. For instance, brush up on basic arithmetic, watch out for distractors, double check units, using the best guess method, as well as block modeling, and more in our next videos as I dive more into details, some of the strategy that you could be using. Reasoning reading exams. Well, this comprises questions designed to assess your reading comprehension skills and ability to analyze and interpret written information. While the specific questions may vary from exam to exam, year to year, here is a general overview of what you can expect. They are generally passage-based questions, focusing on vocabulary and word usage. You might need to review passages in interviews or in articles, fiction texts, like narratives. You might be asked to answer questions based on texts that are presented, looking at text structure and organization. Here are some examples for passage-based questions. You may encounter several passages of varying lengths, followed by multiple choice questions based on the context of the passage. These questions may require you to identify the main idea, make inferences, draw conclusions, analyze the author's tone or purpose, or evaluate arguments presented in the text. Another type will be vocabulary and word usage. Some of the questions may focus on your understanding of vocabulary words used in the passages. You may be asked to determine the meaning of a word based on its context, or choose the best synonyms or antonyms for a given term. The third type would be text structure and organization. You may encounter questions that require you to identify the structure of a passage, such as the author's use of cause and effect, comparison and contrast, or chronological order. You may be asked to determine the purpose of specific paragraphs or sentences within the text. The fourth type of questions would be inference and deductive reasoning. These type of questions assesses your ability to draw logical conclusions and make inferences based on the information provided in the passage. You may be asked to identify implicit information, predict outcomes, or make connections between ideas. Lastly, critical analysis. Some questions may require you to critically evaluate the arguments or claims presented in the passage. You may need to identify flaws in reasoning, evaluate the reliability of evidence, or assess the credibility of the author's perspective. Overall, the ASER Reasoning Reading Exam aims to test your ability to comprehend and analyze written text effectively. So it's important to familiarize yourself with a variety of reading materials, practicing active reading strategies, and honing your critical thinking skills can really help you excel in the exam. Reasoning Written Expression. Written expression exams consist of questions that assesses a student's ability to express ideas clearly and effectively in written form. While the specific questions may vary from year to year, here are some examples of the types of questions you may encounter. Number 1. Essay prompts. Students may be given a specific topic or statement and asked to write an essay expressing their opinion or providing arguments for a particular position. 2. Narrative prompts. Students may be given a scenario or a set of characters and asked to write a creative story or narrative based on the given information. 3. Descriptive prompts. Students may be provided with a picture or a scene and asked to describe it using vivid language and sensory details. 4. Persuasive prompts. Students may be given a persuasive writing task where they need to present their arguments and evidence to convince the reader of their viewpoint on a particular issue. Response to a given text. Students may be provided with a passage or an article and asked to respond by summarizing, analyzing, or critiquing the text. 6. Personal reflection prompts. Students may also be asked to reflect on a personal experience, share their thoughts and feelings, or discuss the lessons they have learned from a specific event or situation. It is important to note that these are general examples and actual questions may differ in wording and topic, so it's really important and recommended to practice writing on various topics, develop strong arguments, and work on expressing ideas clearly and coherently using strong vocabulary in written form. So it's important that students be able to communicate and tell a story, and make sure that you always have a beginning, a main event, and an ending, and be very clear about the genre that you're writing. Reasoning Maths. So the ASER Reasoning Math exam questions are really designed to assess students' mathematical reasoning abilities. These questions typically require students to think critically, solve problems, and apply mathematical concepts in various contexts. The exam questions may involve numerical reasoning, for instance. These sort of questions assess a student's ability to work with numbers, perform calculations, and solve numerical problems. They may involve arithmetic operations, algebra, equations, numerical patterns, and data interpretation. 2. Logical reasoning. These sort of questions evaluate students' logical thinking and analytical skills. They may involve pattern recognition, sequencing, deduction, and logical inferences. Spatial reasoning. These questions assess students' ability to visualize and manipulate spatial relationship. They may involve geometric shapes, spatial patterns, rotations, reflections, and transformation. Word problems. These questions require students to apply mathematical concepts to real-life situations. They may involve interpreting information from a problem statement, formulating equations or inequalities, and solving mathematical word problems. It's important to note that exact nature and difficulty levels of ASO reasoning math exam questions can vary. Therefore, it's recommended to refer to the official ASO resources and also available practice materials for the most accurate representation of the exam questions. Arithmetic operations, algebra, geometry, number patterns, and data analysis. These are some of the questions and areas that you might want to hone your skills in. Stay focused and be persistent, and seek support or guidance from teachers or tutors if needed. Once again, thank you all for joining us on this journey to continue to help your child succeed in gaining entry into selective schools and beyond. Again, we hope you have found this video helpful and informative, and don't forget to show your support. If you enjoyed the video and found it beneficial, please consider giving it a thumbs up and leaving a comment below. We value your feedback and would love to hear about your experiences, questions, or any other topics you'd like us to cover for future videos. Remember, your child's success begins with your support and dedication. Together, let's empower them to thrive academically and grow into their full potential. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in our next video.